music fans, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the 2019 Disney reimagining of Aladdin. We're getting a lot of these Disney remakes, reimaginings, whatever you want to call them, but today we're talking about the one that showed us a trailer and people were not too happy with the look of the genie and certain aspects of the marketing. So did this movie deliver? Did it surpass all expectations, or was it a clunker like a lot of people expected? We are going to talk about this. I need you guys in the comments down below. Let me know. Did you enjoy this version of Aladdin, and what is your connection to the original Aladdin? Because of course most people love the original. Did you grow up with it? Was it one that you caught later but you fell in love with? Let me know that in the comments as well. Either one will work, but today we're talking about 2019's Aladdin. So a kind-hearted street urchin and a power-hungry Grand Vizier vie for a magic lamp that has the power to make their deepest wishes come true. A live-action Aladdin movie starring Will Smith and directed by Ritchie. 5 years ago, if you would have pitched that to me, I would have said, nope, nuh-uh. And even 2 months ago when the first trailer came out, if you would have showed me that trailer, or you wouldn't have had to show it to me, I watched the trailer, and I didn't really like the trailer. The marketing did not get me excited. I thought Will Smith, while I love Will Smith, I am a Will Smith fan, he did not look good as the genie. And starting out in this movie, when he pops up for the first time, he doesn't look very good as the genie. There are certain elements of CGI in this film that just do not hold a candle to characters like Thanos in the Avengers, Caesar from Planet of the Apes. Those characters look fantastic, and the genie started out a bit shaky in this movie, and that's why I'm starting out talking about him, is because that's the draw to this film. People love Aladdin, and they hold it so close to them. Yes, because the love story is there, and I actually think the love story got fleshed out a bit more in this movie than the original, but Robin Williams as the genie in that original classic, I think that is one of the best performances we have ever seen in an animated Disney film. So Will Smith, he had a lot to live up to in terms of his performance, and even though I don't think the CGI looked great in the beginning, once they leave that cave, something about his look as the genie clicked for me, or maybe it just looked better in the light as opposed to in the dark, which is odd because CGI normally looks better in the dark because it's easier to do, but I actually liked the look of it a lot better the more we progressed throughout the movie. Maybe it's where I got used to him looking that way and my eyes kind of adjust, and by the end of the film, it did not bother me as much. Not that he is blue. The entire film, he does transform back into Will Smith every now and then, but Austin, what did you think of his performance as the genie? Did it hold a candle to Robin Williams? Well, I like to look at it as two completely separate things because they didn't just do Robin Williams' Genie over again. Will Smith took this, made it his own, did Robin Williams justice, and did it lovingly, and you can tell he did it lovingly. There are even a few nods to Robin Williams' Genie in this movie, but he did things a bit different. Different enough to where I can say his performance as the genie was good, and he was actually my favorite part of the movie. He was really good, not just good. I loved his version of the genie. Still love Robin Williams more, obviously, but it's so different and new age in its own weird way. He incorporates rap elements into his performances, and some people may look at this and say, well, he was just cringy as the genie. I think a lot of people are going into this movie not wanting to give Will Smith a chance just because we have this connection and we hold Robin Williams so dear to our hearts. I know I do. Listen, I love the original Aladdin movie, and I was not looking forward to this, and I was even walking into this theater with my wife and her friend kind of rolling my eyes going, I don't know if I'm going to like this movie. I've been saying it for weeks now. Gotta go see Aladdin next week. Gotta go see Aladdin tomorrow. Now I've seen Aladdin, and I have to say, guys, I enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it, because I thought I was going to be coming out of another Dumbo. Not that Dumbo's the worst thing I've ever seen. I was just really disappointed with Dumbo earlier in the year, but Aladdin, it took elements that we love from the original, but it did things a bit different. And I'm not saying this movie is a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. Like I said, the CGI was a bit choppy in the first 20 minutes, and honestly, until Aladdin starts rubbing that lamp, spoiler alert, I guess, not really, the movie took some time to get its pacing in order, but once it did, and once the genie really comes to life, and they develop that relationship between those two characters, then, from that point on, I was in this movie, man. It was fun, it was colorful, it was stylistic, it was everything I never knew that I wanted it to be, and it was way more entertaining than I ever could have anticipated. This movie is fun, and it all starts with the performance from Mina Massoud, who plays Aladdin, and this guy was surprising. He was good. He was charming. He was elegant. He is what Aladdin needs to be when he takes the identity of the prince, but he's also this thief, this guy who knows this city, who knows the place that he grew up in. He captured all of those elements, and about 30 minutes after I was starting to develop this relationship with him, I was in with his character. Now, Naomi Scott, what more do I need to say about her? She is beautiful. She is so good in this movie. She is a strong character, and they really fleshed out her character more in this film than they ever thought about in the original animated movie. They give her some more moments and some more songs, some songs that weren't in the original animated movie that I really liked. Now, there is one song that she sings. It starts out in one part of the film and it comes to play later on. When it comes to play later on, I felt it didn't necessarily fit with the flow of the story. I was locked into this moment because everything was dark and intense, and then you get a musical number, and there were a few moments like that in this film. Every now and then, Guy Ritchie, who directed this movie, not talked about him yet, he would bring in his style and flair, and it would not work. He does the slow-mo thing, and he does it often. There's a musical number at the beginning of this movie where he incorporates that, I think, more than he needed to, and there are certain musical elements that were a bit awkward. I don't think Guy Ritchie's thing is musicals, but he did a good enough job to carry us through the movie, and you can tell his style even though it's not completely overwhelming, albeit just a little bit too much. Yeah, that's another thing I was afraid of. I was afraid Guy Ritchie was either going to not make his presence known enough or completely take over this film. I've always found it to be an odd pairing. Guy Ritchie directing an Aladdin movie, but he directed an Aladdin movie, and I think he did a competent enough job. Look, guys, if you're going into this film expecting something completely new, you're not going to get that. If you're expecting something that is a literal beat-for-beat, shot-for-shot remake, you're not going to get that either. What Aladdin does is what I think some of the other Disney live-action remakes have failed to do, and that is capture what we love about the original as well as you can with the cast that you have, yet give us some new things and some stylistic choices and some fantastic songs. The way they were filmed is one thing, but the songs themselves were great. But I have to admit, A Whole New World, you guys know it's in there. That was magical, and these two performances were through the roof awesome. Now, Jafar, how'd you feel about him as the villain? Well, he wasn't this imposing threat that I wanted him to be, and honestly, he was my least favorite part of the trailers. But for this movie, what this version of Aladdin was going for, I think he actually fit. And by the end of the film, I didn't have a problem with his performance, and that was a big worry of mine. He was pretty good. Two quick highlights. Billy Magnuson comes in and plays this crazy, off-putting prince. I wanted to see more from him. He was over the top, but he was great. And her dad, the king, looks like Joaquin Phoenix in a beard. If you guys have that in your brain going into this movie, look for it, because it looks like Joaquin Phoenix with the beard. It's weird. Overall, guys, yeah, this was a complete shock to me. I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was good. Once again, it's not fantastic. It's not world-breaking, but it is a great time for the family. So bring your kids, bring your entire family to this film. I think you guys may enjoy it. And I'm going to give this a 73%, really solid. One of the more entertaining times I've had at the theater. My entire audience was cheering and clapping, loving the musicals. Everybody was into it. And there was this one lady who every time she opened her phone, she turned the brightness on and it just shined right in my eyes. I'm like, oh, I can't see.
Oh, is my phone too bright? Is my brightness too high? Huh? You trying to watch a movie?
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. Many more reviews coming. I have some Netflix reviews, working on some more tier lists. Can't wait to talk about that. And I want you guys to request things in the comments down below. I love to hear your thoughts always and forever. And thank you guys for hitting that like button as well. The YouTube algorithm is changing, and apparently that helps my videos out, so I truly appreciate all of you guys for doing the things that you do for me. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning.